Welcome to Prime at 9. I'm Esther. These are the headlines. The Nagaland government's committee tasked with examining the application of the Sarfasi Act 2002 has decided to table the observations of the Select Committee in the coming Nagaland Legislative Assembly session. Rifleman Khatnai Konyak, who was killed in a militant attack in Manipur's ambush, was laid to rest at his hometown in Tizit of Mon district. A minor girl was gang raped by around 400 different people in Bhid district of Maharashtra. Girl was raped for 6 months. Delhi's air quality on Monday witnessed marginal improvement. Air quality in the capital city reached the lower end of very poor category with air quality index at 318. Now for the news in details. The Nagaland government's committee tasked with examining the application of the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002, the Sarfasi Act 2002, has decided to table the observations of the Select Committee in the coming Nagaland Legislative Assembly session. Minister of Land Revenue and Parliamentary Affairs Niba Krunu spoke to media persons today in Kohima on this. Let's have a look at the details.
Should be there for a person to claim that he is having that land. That means we feel that if we have land, then it have to be surveyed. It have to be surveyed. It can be signed by the village council, it can be signed by the GB, or in the town areas, it can be surveyed by the land records and survey department. Then thereafter, after that, countersigned by the administration like land revenue officer and then deputy commissioners. After ascertaining that, then land documents can be issued by any authority, or by mostly the administration. Then that becomes a valid document where bank can mortgage. Requested them to submit their reports within.
Rifleman Khatnai Konyak, who was killed in a militant attack in Manipur's Churachandpur district, was laid to rest at his hometown in Tizit of Mon district in Nagaland today. The funeral service was held at the local ground in Tizit, where condolence messages were delivered by Deputy Commissioner of Mon, Tavasilan K, and various organizations including Tizit Town Public Union, Zankam Union, Tizit Town, Zankam Village Council and others. Born on February 20, 1988, Konyak was a lieutenant in the 46th Assam Rifles and is survived by his wife and daughter. It is to be mentioned that on November 13, the commanding officer of the Assam Rifles unit, along with his wife, son and 4 other Jawans, were killed in an ambush by militants in the Singhat subdivision of Manipur's Churachandpur district. 2 proscribed organizations, the People's Liberation Army and the Manipur Naga People's Front, had claimed responsibility for the attack. The deceased Jawans have been identified as Suman Swageri, Khatnai Konyak, R.P. Meena and Shamal Das.
Konyak, son of Sri Nompa Konyak Ganbura of Zankam village, who was a young and promising soldier. I pay homage to late Sri Khatnai Konyak and others who sacrificed their life in the line of duty for our nation. I convey my deepest condolences to the bereaved family and pray to the Almighty to give strength and solace to the family members in this time of sorrow and grief. He had left behind his wife and a 4-month-old daughter.
Always aspire to live for the country, fight for the country, and if die, then for the country. Khatni is privileged, बहुत lucky hoy कि देशर कारणे जीवन दिबो पारिसे आमी बहुत प्राउड फील करो आसाम राइफल्स आपनार लगत हदाय থাকিব আপুনি অকল নহয় আমি হদায় আপনার লগত থাকিব আজি আমি এটো এসুরেন্স দিছে যে আপনার বাচ্চাটো যেটো 3 months আমি টেক কেয়ার করিব at my personal level as Colonel Ripon Bora and as 27 Assam Rifles মোৰ ইউনিটটো ইয়াত আৰু 5 বছৰ থাকিব ইয়াৰ পাছতো আমি নৰ্থ ইষ্টতে থাকিব আমি আপোনাৰ ফ্যামিলি হদায় খবৰ ৰাখিম হদায় কেয়াৰ কৰিম আমি আপোনাৰ ফ্যামিলি এৰি নিদু খাটনি আমাৰ হাৰ্টত আছে
Nagaland's Planning and Coordination, Land Revenue and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Niba Krunu today said that Nagaland tourism has a great potential for growth unlike other sectors. Addressing the concluding program of tour guide training at UTNet office Kohima on Monday, the minister said that the tourism sector has a great potential as Nagas are hospitable and welcoming people by nature. He urged the tour guides to smartly strategize on taking advantage of the opportunities available in the tourism sector.
My request is you must go through our history, the unique history. From the beginning, how we have a struggle. Because first they will ask that, then the second question they may say, what is your population in this area? What is the population of Kohima district, Dimapur district? How many tribes are here? These are the immediate things, and you'll be an ambassador of our state. Starting from today, let us all work together, and in the field of tourism, let us all put our efforts. Together, we can.
Nagaland's Commissioner and Secretary for Tourism I. Kito Zimomi, who was the guest of honor at the program, said that as tour guides, the participants are frontliners of the tourism sector. He requested the tour guides to present their best to tourists and focus on being good storytellers, as we have many stories which are unknown to the world outside.
You know, we had talked about, somebody had talked, Onan had talked about how important storytelling, a director. Actually, everything in life is about storytelling. And in as far as storytelling is concerned, I think our state has enough storytelling to tell people. So I want to request you, please be very, very well prepared for whichever destination that you're being taken for. As Benjamin Franklin said, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So, you know, the impression that you give is the impression which is going to get carried away by the people. The guides that we have, the guides that take them to Konoma, the guides that take them to Dubhema, I was surprised. And they would come, I would say, how was your trip? They would say, yeah, it was good. But the tourist guide was a fantastic fellow. He knew his stuff. And there is another personal request from my side. You see, there are a lot of haters, and especially in the era of social media, in this area of social media. So every time everybody likes to criticize the government. You would not believe the number of people who would like to criticize the government. I would like to request you, please, once you have settled in as a tourist guide and once you've started moving on in life, please do project the government and the work that the government is doing from your level.
A sanitary pads making unit was inaugurated by SP Noklak Dr. Pritpal Kaur at Noklak today in coordination with Noklak Police, National Innovation Foundation, Kemungan Women Weaving and Industrial Cooperative Society Limited and IAH Noklak. Under the motto My Periods, My Pride, SP Noklak Dr. Pritpal Kaur stated that stigma to periods shouldn't be present, rather everyone should take pride in womanhood. She reiterated on not to miss the school classes or other work if someone has their periods, as it results in loss of studies or work wages respectively. Rather, proper use of sanitary pads can help in all these. Nutrition at the time of periods is also important too, she further stated. The Firando Domestic Workers Alliance of Kohima organized a program to observe Children's Day and a belated World Day Against Child Labour at the St. Francis de Sales Parish on Sunday, November 14th in Kohima. Speaking during the program, Reverend Sister Marian Keyang, Vice Superior of St. Mary's Convent, Kohima, recalled how Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, was also known to be children's Chacha Nehru, who was fond of children. Keyang also narrated how Jesus in the Bible also deeply loved children and said that the kingdom of God belongs to the little ones. She reminded that the children that were precious, loved and respected, and hoped that they would bring unity, love, peace and harmony to the nation. Reverend Sister Teresa Langu, coordinator of Firando Domestic Workers Alliance, highlighted the major problems and child labor in many developing countries, including India, and informed that about 13 million children between the ages of 5 to 15 were said to be engaged in child labor in the country, as per 2018 report of the International Labour Organization. She said that 1/3 of the country is in poverty, which is considered to be the primary reason for child labor. People living in such conditions don't have food to eat, which is the reason they make their children work. Langu also maintained that how children were kept as domestic help in many households, including those of government servants in Kohima. She asked both the and citizens to play their part in stopping child labor. She further stated of how laws against child labor should be tightened, while free education and food should be provided to children.
There are very many children who are in the field of work, labor. So today, as I would like to speak to you about the children's, those who are in the labor or in the labor. Child labor is a crime in which children are forced to work at a very age, with a young age. Suju time the medical काम कुरिबुले बनुखा लगन तो हाथ आमी बाबा का अम्मा का अपनी पथाई के ना पैसा कमा बुले अपनी जारू मारी को घर पका को कि सफा करी को बोर्ड का सफा करी को काम कुरिबुले बनुखा तो हाथ अम्मा बाबा का अपनी दे पथाई ले खुशी बाबा.
An improvised explosive device was found at the eastern side of the residential gate of one Aribam Sashikumar Sharma of Kongman Zone 1 at around 5:30 a.m. today. According to the CCTV camera footage, an unidentified person was seen dropping a plastic packet at the south part of the gate and quickly leaving the area about 4:24 a.m. The IED was found wrapped in a plastic polythene bag when Aribam Sashikumar Sharma, who came out for a morning walk, checked it on suspicion. He immediately informed the matter to the Irilbung police station. Sharma is a fish seller by profession. Talking to reporters, he said that he received a message through WhatsApp to pay monetary help to the group KCP, People War Group. As he didn't respond, he received another WhatsApp call on November 3rd asking him to pay the demanded money. He, however, told the person at the other end not to demand money from fish sellers, while explaining the kind of hardships they faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. A police team, along with bomb detection and disposal squad team, who rushed to the site, immediately picked up the IED and safely detonated it somewhere in the Imphal East area at about 10:10 a.m. It was informed. As part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations, the Tribal Affairs and Hills Department of Manipur is organizing 3 events during November 15 to the 22nd to pay tributes to tribal freedom fighters. The events are being conducted at the Tribal Research Institute at Chingmairong. Minister of Tribal Affairs and Hills, Wangzagin Walte, said that the government of India has decided to commemorate November 15 as Janjatya Gaurav Divas in recognition of the valiant efforts of tribal freedom fighters who contributed greatly to the freedom movement. On the occasion of Janjatiya Gaurav Divas and as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Department of Tribal Affairs and Hills organized a state-level painting and photo exhibition themed on tribal freedom fighters on November 15 at the Tribal Research Institute, Chingmairong, to honor the memory of tribal freedom fighters from the state.
The Prime Minister has to care. These tribal people, they should be given every villages. The central government, the Union government, not only recognize, they want to give us a message to our young generations to love our country, to belongingness to our country. That is the main objective. Thank you.
The Parent Town Youth Organization organized the 16th edition of the Inter-Ward Tournament on November 15th. The inauguration was held at the local ground of Parent, update stated. Dr. Tumda Nyume, President of the Zeme Council of Nagaland, attended the program as the special guest. The tournament includes football for men, volleyball for women and Naga wrestling for those under 13 years of age. The first match was played between Bana Rising Star and Kozai FC with both the teams scoring 2 each. Bana Rising Star recorded a win through penalty 5-4. The women's volleys first match was played between Baba Ward versus Pukwaram. Baba women won the match by best of 3. The final match is scheduled to be played on November 20th. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh inaugurated the Go to Village 2.0 program for Imphal West District at a solemn function that was conducted at the Ecotourism Park today. The program, which was organized by the district administration, will continue for 3 days till the 17th of November. Stalls of different government departments have also been set up at the venue to provide services to the people. Speaking during the occasion, Biren Singh said that the Go to Village mission was taken up as an initiative of the state government to ensure doorstep delivery of service and added that such initiatives would help in regaining the erstwhile trust among different communities of the state. Understanding the hardships faced by people of far-flung villages when it comes to visiting government offices for availing certain welfare schemes or services, the government aims to provide various services and facilities at the people's doorstep, he added. Informing that a total of 2,679 villages had been covered as part of Phase 1 of the Go to Village and Go to Hills mission, he said Phase 2 of the mission will cover the remaining villages. In yet another horrifying case of gang rape, a minor girl was gang raped by around 400 different people, including a policeman, over a period of 6 months in Beed district, Maharashtra. Reports stated that the victim tried to file a complaint many times, but the police did not take any necessary action. According to the complaint, her mother passed away around 2 years ago. After her mother's passing, her father married her away. For a year, the victim stayed at her matrimonial house, where her in-laws and husband repeatedly harassed her. After living there for a year, she returned back to her paternal home. Her father refused to take care of her, and as a result, she was forced to live at the Ambajagoi bus stand 6 months ago. In these 6 months, she was raped by more than 400 people. The girl said in a statement that she tried to file a case at Ambajagoi police station, but no one helped her. Instead, a policeman allegedly took advantage of the situation and raped her. Finally, last week, her complaint was filed and a case was registered by the police. A case under the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act has been filed against her father and relatives for arranging child marriage. The accused have been booked under the POCSO and other relevant sections of the Indian Penal Code for rape and molestation. Raja Ramaswamy, Superintendent of Police, Beard, informed that 3 people have been arrested in the alleged case and a case has been registered under the Child Marriage Act, rape, molestation and POCSO. The repeated sexual assault on the minor girl left her pregnant and the Child Welfare Committee is in the process to abort the fetus. So far, the police has arrested 4 people. Kutiyattam, an ancient Sanskrit theatrical art form of Kerala, returned to the theatres after Kerala government eased COVID restrictions. Kutiyattam is around 2000 years old and it's an art form and has also been recognized by UNESCO. It is usually performed only in temple theatres known as Kuthambalam by members of the Chakyar and Nambiar communities. Only through rigorous training lasting many years one can aspire to master the craft of Kutiyattam.
This is Kerala's traditional art form, and this is my father, Podil Narayana Chakyar. He's my father as well as my guru. He's Acharya of Podil Gurukulam, located in Manganam, and our institution is organized by Kendra Sangeeta Nadaga Academy. Kudiyattam is one and only Kerala's traditional art forms, and Chakyar, Nambiar and Nangyar caste persons are performing this art.
That's all for Prime at 9. I'm Esther. Keep watching Hornbill TV.